that if Joe Biden did something like that,
oh my God,
he'd have a blimp with Joe Biden farted on it flying over the courtroom.
Oh yeah, they would pump sound in. They would like put a mic right by his butt.
So it's all fair game in that case.
Yeah, because you can't make fun of him. I mean, the Trump people get really upset.
Right.
Some of them been coming to my show, and again, I'm like, why are y'all here? I hear, and they actually make that noise, and they get up, and it's like, hum, 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 hum. Like.
Did you see that moment when Melania dodged Trump's hand like it was radioactive? Wanda Sykes just roasted the former president and his wife, comparing Melania's hand dodge to avoiding a contagious tax fraud charge. Trump couldn't handle being laughed at, folks. His face turned redder than his MAGA hat, while Melania's expression suggested she might actually agree with Wanda. The internet went wild, turning this awkward moment into the escape meme of the year. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine standing next to someone whose hand you'd rather not touch. Now multiply that by 1,000, and you've got Melania's situation. The First Lady's apparent aversion to holding her husband's hand has become one of the most fascinating subplots of the Trump presidency, and boy, did she perfect the art of the dodge. Let's take a closer look at what might be Melania's most impressive talent, avoiding physical contact with the former president in plain sight. In footage that went mega viral, Melania swats away Trump's hand with the precision of someone declining a pesky telemarketer. The move wasn't just quick, it was practiced, deliberate, and frankly, hilarious to watch. It's as if her hand had its own built-in Trump radar with an automatic evasion system.
Do you expect a cabinet position? I mean, how have you been able to digest this? Or are you still in that shock mode?
Jimmy, I'm a black woman and a lesbian. How the hell you think I'm doing?
I think they call that 0 for 3.
Yeah, yes, right, exactly.
What's your opinion of why it went this way? Why Americans voted the way we did?
Sometimes America is just gonna America. You think you move forward, and honestly, I blame those damn Cheerio commercials and showing all those interracial couples. You scared the out of white people.
Wanda Sykes, never one to miss comic gold when she sees it, turned these awkward moments into stand-up material that had audiences howling. She's dodging his hand like it might transfer some tax fraud charges through skin contact, Sykes joked during one of her sets. The audience didn't just laugh, they practically fell out of their chairs because, well, sometimes comedy hits different when it feels true. These presidential hand dodges weren't one-off incidents either. There's the infamous Jerusalem swat, the Rome rejection, and the Air Force One avoidance. When you watch these moments in slow motion, you see something remarkable. Melania's reflexes activating before Trump's hand even begins its journey toward hers. It's like watching a martial arts master who can sense an attack before it happens. Body language experts haven't been shy about interpreting these interactions. They point to Melania's stiff posture, her quick reflexes, and the millisecond facial expressions that flash across her otherwise carefully controlled face. These experts suggest her movements reveal more than just discomfort. They indicate an active desire to maintain physical distance from her husband. In milliseconds, her body communicates what press statements never would.
On a more positive note, are you enjoying the Trump trial?
I am enjoying the Trump trial. I really am. I know they say he's passing gas and everything.
I don't want you. I don't think. Don't be offended. I hope not. It's just that everyone loves Carol Burnett.
I love Carol Burnett.
Okay, good.
I started to go, shoot, I'm out of here. I'm coming back tomorrow. So I like that I'm watching it from home.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to be in that room. But the thing is, he's old. So that's what happens when you're old. You fall asleep and you toot a little bit.
What makes these moments so fascinating is the contrast between the two Melanias we see. There's the carefully curated public image, the former model with the perfect posture, designer wardrobe, and practiced smile. Then there's the unguarded Melania, the woman whose instinct to avoid her husband's touch appears so automatic it bypasses her PR training. It's in these split-second reactions that many believe we see glimpses of her authentic feelings. Social media, of course, elevated these awkward interactions into an art art form all their own. One particularly viral edit showed Melania dodging Trump's hand with dramatic music playing in the background, captioned, "When you're mere inches from freedom." These memes portrayed her hand dodging as some kind of high-stakes escape mission, complete with action movie editing and suspenseful soundtracks. The internet collectively decided that Melania wasn't just avoiding holding hands, she was plotting her great escape.
The finger pointing and all, that's not really helping.
What is the point of that?
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's your fault. It's your fault. It just happened. Women tear each other apart over a dude. So why do you think, this wasn't gonna happen? Like the Real Housewives. I mean, they do the same thing. I mean, come on, y'all need to watch more Bravo. Why are you shocked? I mean, have you seen The Bachelor? So you target a community that's less than 1% of the population.
The question hanging in the air after all this public mockery was simple. How would the notoriously thin-skinned Trump respond to being the butt of the joke? This wasn't just any joke. This was his own wife seemingly recoiling from his touch, transformed into comedy material by one of his most vocal critics. For a man whose public image is built on projecting strength and dominance, these clips suggested something entirely different at home. What's particularly interesting is how Melania herself responded to the comedy routines about her marriage. Sharp-eyed observers noted the timing of her rare almost smiles during public events where these jokes came up. Even more telling was her pattern of disappearances from public view shortly after particularly biting comedy roasts about her husband. Was it coincidence, or was she taking a strategic powder to avoid showing her true reaction? There's a subtle smirk that occasionally crosses Melania's face in certain footage, a barely there expression that vanishes so quickly you might miss it if you blink. But in those fleeting moments, some viewers swear they see something genuine. Perhaps a woman who isn't entirely displeased when someone calls out the elephant in the room. Whether it's confirmation bias or actual evidence is for you to decide. And just like that, Trump's hand-holding disasters have become forever enshrined in internet history. Those awkward moments will follow him around like a bad smell in an elevator. Seriously, the man who bragged about grabbing women can't even hold his wife's hand without getting rejected on camera. The internet has a longer memory than an elephant with a grudge, and these clips will resurface every time Trump tries to act like the perfect husband. The true power of comedy shines brightest when aimed at those who can't take a joke. Trump's thin-skinned reactions to Wanda's roast prove that nothing terrifies powerful men more than being laughed at. It's like kryptonite to their supersized egos. So next time you're scrolling through social media and spot that uncomfortable political couple, watch closely. You might be witnessing tomorrow's viral sensation. After all, the most revealing truths about politicians often come from their unguarded moments, not their speeches.